Let's see how we can work with branches in VS Code. As I told you in the previous section, VS Code has limited Git features. So to bring additional features, we have to install an extension called GitLens. If you missed that video in the previous section, go to the extensions panel and search for GitLens. This is the extension we're going to use to work with branches. So once you install this, you're going to see this new icon over here. Here's our Venus repository. Over here, we have this folder called branches. We can see all of our branches here. So master is our current branch, as indicated by this tick icon. We also have these folders, bug fix and feature. The reason we have these folders is because I used a / in naming these branches. So bug fix / whatever. That is the benefit of using this convention. Now here we can change the layout. So instead of a tree structure, we can view our branches in a list. So we click on this icon. Now all of our branches are listed here. In front of each branch, we can see the last time this branch was updated. So as a best practice, if you're done with a branch, make sure to delete it. Otherwise, all these branches hanging there is just going to create confusion for you. Now we can expand any of these branches to look at its history. Unfortunately, at the time of recording this lesson, we cannot see all of our branches in a graph. To do that, we're going to use another extension, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this lesson. So master is the current branch. Now I'm going to create a new branch based on the last commit on master. So we right click here, and here we have a few options. We can switch to this branch. We can rename this branch, create a new branch, and create a tag. So let's create a new branch. I'm going to call this feature /reset-password. Now we get this error saying this is not a valid branch name. I don't know what this is coming up. Don't worry about it. Just press enter. Now here we have a few options. We can create this branch, or we can create this branch and switch to it, or we can cancel. I'm going to go with the second option. Good. So we're currently on our feature branch. We can also see the current branch over here in the status bar. Now let's make a new commit in this branch. So I'm going to open table of content.txt and say beautiful weather. Save the changes. Now we go to the source control panel. Unfortunately, VS Code is not picking up our change, so we have to refresh the view. Good. So here's the change. Let's give this commit a message. We can say, write beautiful weather to table of content. Now we make a commit. Good. So let's go to GitLens. Here in our branches, we can see this new commit over here. Now, after a while, as we make new commits, we want to compare this branch with master to see how these branches have diverged. So with our feature branch selected, here we can click on compare. And in this drop-down list, we can see all of our branches. So I'm going to select master to see how this branch is different from master. Let's expand this folder. So currently we have one commit, and this commit is in our feature branch. In a real situation, we could have several commits here. Some of these commits are on master, the others are on the feature branch. We can also see the summary of files that are changed. So in this example, our table of content file is changed. We can click on it to see the exact lines of code that have changed. In this case, we have this new line in our feature branch. So after we merge this branch into master, this new line is going to be added to table of content in master. Now I want to go back to master and make a conflicting change. So we can click on this branch on the status bar and go to master. Now let's open table of content and write something else here, like sunny day. Save the changes. Now we go to source control panel. Once again, we have to refresh the view. I don't know what's going on here. Let's say write sunny day to table of content. So we have a new commit here. Now we want to do a merge. So we get to GitLens. We're currently on master. Now we want to merge our feature branch into master. So we right click on our branch and select merge branch into current, which is master. We can also do a rebase. Either way, we're going to end up with a conflict. In this demo, I'm going to go with merge branch. Now here we have a few options. We can just do a default merge. So that is equivalent to executing git merge target branch. We have another option here, fast forward merge. So look at this option, --ff-only. With this, we're telling Git, hey, do a merge only if fast forward is possible. Otherwise, don't do a merge. We have another option here, no fast forward merge. We talked about this earlier in this section. If we select this, Git is going to create a merge commit even if fast forward is an option. You also have squash merge. Now in this demo, I'm going to go with the default merge. So look in the terminal window. You got a conflict in our table of content file. So on the left, we go to our source control panel. Let's refresh the view one more time. So under merge changes, we can see all conflicted files. So here we have a C, which means conflict. If we open this, we can see the conflict markers. So we can manually edit this file or use one of these options over here. In this case, I'm going to accept both changes. Save. Now, we need to commit the changes. So first, we need to stage them. So we click on this icon. Now this file is in the staging area. And here we have the default commit message. Now, let's make a commit. Good. So back in GitLens, here's our master branch. And here's our merge commit. Now let's say we screwed something up. We have a faulty merge. So we cannot compile our code or our application doesn't work. We want to undo this merge. What should we do here? Well, let's right click this. We can revert this commit. So this is going to create a new commit that will undo the changes in this commit. Unfortunately, at the time of recording this option doesn't work. So if you select this and go ahead with reverting this commit, we get this error in the terminal saying -m option was not given. We talked about this earlier in the section. So because a merge commit has two parents, we have to specify the parent number in order to revert this commit. So for this demo, I'm going to undo our merge commit. So back in GitLens, here's our merge commit. We want to reset the head to the previous commit over here. So we right click on this and select reset to commit. Here we have a few options. We can do a soft reset or a hard reset. A soft reset only updates the head pointer, but a hard reset also updates the staging area and the working directory to match the snapshot pointed to the latest commit. So here we're going to go with hard reset. Good. Now our merge commit is gone. Here in GitLens, we also have our stashes. Currently, we don't have any stashes. So I can go to our table of content file, make some changes. Now over here, we can stash all the local changes. So let's select that. Here we supply a message. Let's say new tags rows. Enter. So we have a new stash. Here we can see a summary of the changes. So we have 0 new files, 1 modified file, and 0 deleted files. Now at some point in the future, we're going to apply this stash to our working directory. So we can click on this icon, apply a stash. And here we have a few options. We can apply the stash, or we can pop this stash. This is going to apply the stash and then drop it. Or we can cancel. So I'm going to apply the stash. Okay, our changes are back. And we can still see the stash here. When we're done, we can delete it very easily. So these are some of the features we have in GitLens. Now I told you that GitLens doesn't provide a graph of our branches. To see a graph, we should install an extension called Git Graph. So here in the extensions panel, Git Graph, it's right here. This gives us a beautiful graph of our branches. So once you install this, here in the source control panel, you're going to see a new icon called Git Graph. And now we can clearly see a graph of our branches. For example, here we have this branch, feature reset password, that is not merged into master. So we have this commit that is not included in master. Down below, you can see earlier we created this branch, and then later we merged it into master.